Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen, or not so happy New Year, depending on who you support. Welcome back to Neeks Sports. This is your match review for Arsenal 2, Manchester United 0. Before you go any further, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, share this video, and follow us on all the social medias. Poor. I don't know, man. This team, we are so inconsistent, hot and cold. And I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised we lost. Because I said we are inconsistent. We knew we were inconsistent going into the season. We expected inconsistencies, but it's just so disappointing. Yeah, we don't have the best record at the Emirates in recent years. I think we've won one Premier League game out of 5. But the performance we put in that first half, that's inexcusable. I don't care. I don't care what you want to talk about, technical ability of certain players, tiredness from a game before. I'm not having none of that. That first half performance was so bad. Arsenal pulled us from pillar to post, and for us to have any chance in that game, we had to go in no more than 1-0 down. The moment they got that second goal, game over. And the reality is, 2-0 flattered us. It actually flattered us. We were terrible. It could easily have been 3 or 4. Easily. That's how bad we were. We had, the first shot of the game in the first 30 seconds from Rashford. Then we had another good opening. Lingard's ball to Daniel James wasn't far enough ahead of him, so he couldn't release Martial, and that would have been a clear goal-scoring opportunity. And that was probably, 7-8 minutes in? After that, we weren't in the game. We were not in the game at all. On the ball's one thing, what you do on the ball. But off the ball, we were non-existent. The work rate, the pressing, the movement, it was terrible. Arsenal, on the other hand, when we got the ball, especially in our back four, you saw pressing from the whole team. The forwards went, then the midfielders went behind them. And because of our lack of movement, our lack of energy, our lack of desire, that first half for me, it showed one team were committed to winning that game, ending their winless run. And another team who, I don't know, weren't up for it. Just weren't up for it. And you would say, and you think, and it's a bit surprising because a big game is usually, you don't need getting up for. The manager doesn't have to convince and rile you up. This is it's a top or big 6 game. There's a history of rivalry in the Premier League between Man United and Arsenal. The manager shouldn't have to get you up for it. Added to that our record against the big 6 sides tends to be very good. We play well. Today was poor. And you have to credit Arsenal. I think the first goal was always going to be crucial because if we got it, then of course we can play on the counter-attack, which is to our strength, and exploit the defensive weaknesses in Arsenal's game. And if they get it, which they did, they don't have to commit so many men forward, and it will expose our issues that comes to breaking down. But in the first half, there was just nothing. From back to front, literally from back to front, from David De Gea right through to Anthony Martial, we were terrible to a man. David De Gea's kicking, poor, nearly led to a goal where I think it was his clearance deflected off one of their forwards, could have been Lacazette, and failed to Pepe. He picked up, drove across the area and hit the post. For their first goal, Maguire played Kolasinac onside when the whole defence kind of held their line. He was the deepest, it didn't make any sense because when where you're further away from the play, you should be higher than anyone else because you can't affect it positively. He was deeper, he was late to get out, should I say. He was slow to get out. And he played Kolasinac onside. You know, a bit unlucky with the deflection. The cross came in and deflected off, was blocked and deflected by Lindelof, who actually had a good game himself. Very unlucky with the second goal. And it fell to Pepe, scuff shot, but when the hair was going one way, the ball went the other. 1-0. And at that point, you'll say, yeah, Arsenal were on top. So you said they deserved to go. And there's nothing changed throughout the whole first half. Nothing changed. I think we had 2 shots on target at least, if not at all, just shots in general, in the whole first half. One in the first 30 seconds and the second in the last 30 seconds. Free kick from Fred. Maguire at the back post should have done better. Should have either scored or headed it across the face of goal for someone, probably Martial, to tap in. But inside all of that, there was nothing. There was literally nothing. When we got the ball, static. Nobody's coming short. There's no movement in front, whether it's from the midfield, whether it's from the forwards, whether it's from the fullbacks. It was just slow. It allowed Arsenal to get back in their shape. It meant, really and truly, we didn't trouble them. Arsenal did well, don't get me wrong. But they didn't have to be great, especially in the first half, because we didn't offer anything. We didn't offer anything. When we got the ball in the back line, it was from Maguire to Lindelof, to Maguire, out to Wan-Bissaka, into Matic, and it was just so slow. Was never going to cause Arsenal any problems. And because they got the early goal, anytime we got forward and the move inevitably broke down because it was so slow and easy to defend, they could break on us. And as I said, our only hope of getting something out of this game, as far as I was concerned, because there was no way we were scoring 2 today, let alone 1, and we didn't get any. The only way we were going to get something out of this game is if we went into half-time at 1-0. And, you know, we nearly got there. But when they got that corner, I just had a feeling. I thought, they're going to score. Pepe has a good delivery from corners, I think. Up until today, I think this is his first goal in the Premier League. No, sorry, but it's his second from open play. Obviously, he got one against West Ham. But everything else before that was set pieces, whether it was free kicks in the Europa League or corners in the Premier League. So when he stepped up for that, I thought it's going to be dangerous. Arsenal are pumped. They want to get that second before half-time. And again, we were just slow and tepid, and we just lacked the energy, the awareness that allowed Lacazette to make that run unchallenged to the near post. Rashford on his heels, flat-footed because he's facing directly towards the corner taker, as opposed to side on, being able to see if anyone's trying to run past or even block off someone who's trying to run past. Lacazette makes that run, flicks it on. David De Gea, straight at him, but it's a reaction save, pushes it out, and unfortunate, hits Lindelof, who's right in front of him, falls directly to Socrates, who's blasting. 2-0, half-time. Arsenal deserved that completely, and it was a long way back, and inevitably, in the end, it was too far back. We didn't, if we're honest, we never really looked like getting back in the game. It was more hope. If we get 1, then X, Y, Z. But we didn't look like getting that 1. Yeah, we dominated the possession and the ball after that, but they say possession is 9/10 of the law. I mean, when you lack a creative midfielder, when you don't have that, or you don't produce that X factor, possession means nothing. It means literally nothing. And we had all of the ball in that second half and created nothing. Like, Leno wasn't seriously tested. A few shots from outside the box. There was no one-on-ones, no free headers. There was a one dinked ball, I think it was from Fred. Could have been from Mata, but one of the two. And later on, which Rashford ran in and Leno got there first. But really and truly, he wasn't troubled. Arsenal let us have the ball and they looked solid. We didn't make it difficult for them. The movement wasn't quick. The passing wasn't incisive. Made it very, very easy for them to defend. And they broke a few times. Lacazette could have done better in one case. Aubameyang possibly could have developed some goal-scoring opportunities from a few of his forays forward. But we never looked like getting back in that game. And it's disappointing because on the back of... You can lose to Arsenal. I said, we've lost 4 out of our last 5 there. Arsenal generally, for us, it's a bit 50-50. And over the years, obviously, both sides in the past were better than they are right now. But in the past, it's been a bit 50-50 at their ground. In recent times, it's been pretty much all them. Pretty much all them, and nothing was different today. Nothing was different. And I say it's disappointing because we beat Newcastle, we beat Burnley. 2 sides who, yes, we should be beating, don't get me wrong. But these are the type of sides who we've struggled against in the past. Prior to that, the big sides, the big scalps that we got were Spurs and Manchester City. So you're thinking, right, if we can beat the small teams, we keep the level of performance against the bigger teams, we can actually start progressing. Chelsea drew today. Spurs lost. Wolves lost. They're not necessarily... I'm not necessarily looking at Wolves as a top 4 contender. Leicester, of course, they won, so they're even enhancing their position. Their Man City won themselves. But Chelsea drew. Spurs lost. This is your opportunity. Another opportunity. Do you know how much opportunities we've had in the recent weeks? We were about 8 or 11 points behind Chelsea, and it was like game over, top 4, no chance. And yes, Chelsea been in a bad run of form, and we've closed the gap somewhat, but we could have closed it so much more. So much more. And there's these opportunities where the rivals around you drop points and you have to capitalise. But forget the ability of certain players. Lingard was terrible, for example. Rashford was somewhat non-existent, if we're being real honest. James, very similar. Maguire was poor. Luke Shaw was poor. De Gea was poor. But outside of that, where's the energy? Where's the desire? Everyone's played the same amount of games over this period, so there's no excuses. There's none. I think we made changes we made a number of changes from the Burnley game. There was no Young. There was no Brandon Williams. Obviously, the same midfield too. Pereira came out for Lingard. James came back in for Greenwood. Some players may have been tired, cool, but everyone has this issue. Everyone's playing the same amount of games. No excuses, none. And we just didn't turn up. Inconsistent. That is us. We win 2 games. At least we won 2 and lost 1. Most times the season's been win 1, lose 1, or lose 2, win 1. It's been that bad. A lot of people were very, very confident going to Arsenal. I wasn't. But I didn't think we'd lose, but I didn't expect to win. I would hope we can get a win, but I didn't expect to win. But what I didn't expect was that insipid performance. Absolutely insipid. So yeah, we got a big month coming up. Let me get the fixtures up. We have obviously got Wolves in the FA Cup away from home, and that's not going to be easy. I know they just lost to Watford, but Watford got some kind of... They said new manager bounce, but this is Pearson, isn't it? Pearson, he saved Leicester. The season before they won the league, of course, he was the one, I think, won like 7 out of his last 9. We've got Wolves coming up next in the FA Cup. Then we've got Man City at home in the EFL Cup, first leg. Norwich at home. Liverpool away. Burnley at home, and then Man City away, and Wolves at home. Chelsea away, and then the Europa League comes back. Listen, this January will decide our season. It will decide our season. When I say decide, it means it decides what path we're going to take. Because if we lose, say, 2 out of how many league games we got in that period? 1, 2, 3. 3 league games, or 5 before the Europa League comes back. 5 league games. If we were to say only pick up 2 wins out of that was 5. You say top 4 in the league, no chance. Even with the inconsistency of Spurs and Chelsea, no chance. Which means you have to put all your eggs into the Europa League basket. It's a dangerous basket. It's a dangerous basket. So it's a massive January, and it's a bad, bad way to start the month, the new year, the new decade. It's going to be big. January transfer window is open, wide open now. Reinforcements is needed. What's his name? McTominay's out for 8 weeks. Pogba apparently is out for another 2 weeks, or another few weeks, sorry. Solskjaer said, who knows? Listen, he may have well played his last game at Man United. That's the talk. So we know we need reinforcements in that midfield. We got Matic on the field and having to bring on Mata. That shows how poor this squad is. How weak and thin this squad is. We need massive reinforcements. Yeah, we were lucky it was 2-0. We were lucky it was 2-0. Could have been very, very embarrassing. Well done to Arteta, getting his first win as an Arsenal manager. They are still 10th, so hold your horses. We are currently sitting in 5th, 5 points off top 4. Sheffield United, they're playing Liverpool tomorrow. So if they were to win, they could go above us, but I mean, that's unlikely. Liverpool ain't looking like losing any games right now. But yeah, in 5th, a position where I guess most expected us to be. As I said, I'm not surprised we lost, but there's a way to lose. And today was, especially in that first half, disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Follow us on all the social medias. We'll see you soon.